Oh, okay. Cool, man. Cool. Oh my goodness, man. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. I didn't even realize the camera was on. I didn't realize I was doing a review. That was the same thing I basically did all night. What you seen right there, that's the same thing I did all night. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been using the phrase all week, lack of effort. Lack of effort. You know, when the teacher's at the head of the class, right? Standing in front of the class, and he's disappointed with his students. Midterm is here, and everybody failed. The entire class had all these weeks, all the resources, all the material to get the job done and make the teacher proud. They showed him a lack of effort. It's what WWE is showing you every single week. Monday Night Raw continues to be the absolute epitome of garbage television every single week. This is by far the worst television show on any station, anywhere across the globe. It's the worst show on television. Lack of effort. This company has the most talented roster that they've ever assembled. And this is the product that they give us week in and week out. I don't know what to tell you people. All I know is deep down in my fucking soul, I know this show needs a shake-up. This show needs a draft of some sort. This show needs a resuscitation. This show needs Jesus in its life. This show needs a fucking hope and a prayer, a miracle. They need to wish upon a shooting star. They need to get on their hands and knees and pray to whatever God that they fucking bow down to every Sunday. They need something. This show is fucking miserable. Miserable. They had every fucking opportunity tonight to go into Monday Night Raw and start with a fresh slate. Now, I'm giving them one more week to do this. Believe it or not, I'm giving them one more week to start fresh. Because I know they got Crown Jewel on Friday. But tonight could have been the start of a proverbial reset. Roman Reigns is not there anymore. We don't know when he's coming back. We don't know if he's coming back, period. There's no Universal Champion. There's no Tag Team Champions. WWE has basically no roster on Monday Night Raw. None. At least none that I'm excited about. This show is on life support, and they need help desperately. They could have hit the reset button tonight, and they did not do that. This show needs massive change. I don't know where it needs to be. I don't know where that change needs to come from. But this show needs change. And if you are one of these people on social media or someone in the community that does not agree with this statement, you are the fucking root of the issue. Open your fucking eyes. This show, this company is complete garbage. Miserable. I don't know who on this earth can enjoy this show in this format right now. It's the worst state I have ever seen Monday Night Raw. I will continue to utter these sentiments week in and week out until change is made. When change is made, I will let you know that something has changed. Right now, I am absolutely disgusted in what we're being presented on Monday Night Raw. What the fuck happened tonight? What did we waste our 3 hours on tonight? Brock Lesnar coming back? Who the fuck cares? Braun Strowman? I don't really give a shit about Braun Strowman, and WWE has themselves to blame. Brock Lesnar was back in F5'd Braun Strowman in the most laziest fucking way. Garbage. Paul Heyman, another formulaic promo, right? Who gives a shit about this match on Friday afternoon? Nobody. The only thing that we had to look forward to was Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And even then, we didn't get any answers. As if WWE is holding out for whatever reason. Why are you holding out on the one thing that you have keeping this show alive? The one thing that people are interested in on this show. Why? Dean Ambrose came off like John Voight in Anaconda tonight with his fucking facial expressions. As he's looking at a young Jennifer Lopez down in the Amazon fucking rainforest. It's exactly what he reminded me of tonight. He stood there giving smug looks as Seth Rollins called him a son of a bitch. Next. Nothing. Absolutely nothing there. Then we get the old-timers in the main event. We got D-Generation X, 50 years old, acting as if they're 20. Shawn Michaels and Triple H can't let go of the past. I don't know why anybody would be interested in what we're getting at Crown Jewel. I was all for this. And the more we went on, the amount of care I've shown into this program just went right out the window. I just don't care. I cannot stand looking at Shawn Michaels bald. I can't stand looking at him wearing nothing but a fucking bandana glued to his fucking cue ball head. I can't stand Triple H throwing out to the crowd light up X's, light sticks. How many times does The Undertaker and Kane come out on Monday Night Raw uttering the same fucking promo? I don't care. There's something about this that does not sit right with me, even though I've been the one to sit here on my podcast to say, if Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker were to battle one-on-one again, I wouldn't really like it, but I'm not going to fucking complain about it because I love what they did at WrestleMania 25 and 26. I love the storyline going into it, and it's 8 years removed from that situation, and I'd love a conclusion to it. And the only one that could retire The Undertaker is Shawn Michaels. If that was one and done, I would be okay with it. But we're getting all this extra bullshit, and it's very lame to look at 50-year-old guys in the ring just trying to act like fucking, rowdy teenagers again. Something about it doesn't sit right with me, man. It really doesn't. This show, this company, this direction that they're going in right now, man, absolutely fucking effortless in every sense of the word. They show zero fucking effort, zero care. They don't give a fuck about the fans. And we have to sit here week in and week out hoping for change, hoping for something to fucking click, something that they do that would generate interest. And we sit here week in and week out like fucking beggars on the street begging for fucking food. Ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. Gonna throw a little dash of positivity into all this, believe it or not. Believe it or not. There were rumors going around when WWE got to Survivor Series that they were gonna build Survivor Series on big-time matchups. They were going to abandon the Raw versus Smackdown dynamic, the brand competition at Survivor Series. I did not like this rumor at all, and I was hoping that it was not true. I was hoping that WWE would keep that alive because I actually enjoy, in theory, I don't enjoy what they're doing on television because they don't really give a shit about it, but in theory, I care about the brand split. I think the brand split is necessary. I think the brand split actually could be beneficial to WWE if they actually cared about it, which they don't, and they've ruined every aspect of it. They have not made it important. They have not made it special. But I was still hoping, in theory, that WWE would go into Survivor Series giving us Raw versus SmackDown matchups, meaning IC champion versus US champion. Women's champions going head-to-head, Raw versus SmackDown women's champions. Tag team champions going at it. Etc., etc. We get the traditional Raw versus SmackDown match for the men and the women. And the reason why I wanted them to do this was because with all the rumors going around that WWE was going to abandon that, that means that more effort would have to go into storylines, and you know how often WWE doesn't put any effort into anything. especially with 3 weeks coming out of Crown Jewel. Survivor Series is happening 3 weeks after Crown Jewel. How much time realistically is that to build proper storylines fresh with new feuds going into Survivor Series? It's not enough time. And I stated on Off the Script that with this rumor, I hope it's not true. Because if WWE does the Raw versus SmackDown, head-to-head competition at Survivor Series, it is an easy way out for them to book the Survivor Series without actually having to put so much stress on the creative team. Look at the matches that you're getting right now. They've already announced Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. I can't tell you how fucking hyped I am for that and that match alone. Brilliant. That sells itself. That's going to make a great Survivor Series match. Right now, we're looking at Shinsuke Nakamura as the United States Champion. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins. Take my fucking money, man. Take my money. I think a lot of you are uttering that same sentiment as well. AJ Styles. AJ Styles is the WWE Champion. I don't know who's going to win the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel. But if WWE is going with the brand warfare, AJ Styles more than likely will retain the WWE Championship. I just don't see them taking the title off of AJ just yet. And I don't want Daniel Bryan to win the WWE Championship at Crown Jewel because it's too soon. But if AJ is the WWE Champion and Braun Strowman wins the Universal Championship, we could be looking at an AJ Styles versus Braun Strowman match at Survivor Series. That doesn't interest me whatsoever. So if that's the case, WWE's got to think logically here about Crown Jewel. What they could do is add Drew McIntyre into the mix and make this a triple threat match and give Drew McIntyre the Universal Championship. I would love to see Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles, man. Another one of those take my money, if you will, matches. They could certainly do that. I don't think any of you guys would be opposed to that either. Or, this is something that I really don't want them to do, but I could certainly see them doing it. WWE could kind of sneak in a nice little contract to Brock Lesnar to work both UFC and WWE. They could give him the Universal Championship. He could hold the Universal Championship, which would be off Monday Night Raw, for the foreseeable future. I don't like that just as much as you guys don't like that, but hear me out. WWE could give the Universal Championship to Brock Lesnar because realistically, the title means nothing. The title means nothing, and this is where I'm going with this. One, you gotta book Survivor Series. How many of you would love to see another AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar match at Survivor Series? Their first match was fucking fantastic. I would love to see, and I think a lot of people uttered the same thing following that match last year, I think we'd love to see round two. And if WWE wanted to give the title to Brock Lesnar to go into Survivor Series and have another match with AJ Styles, we could certainly do that. Or, if WWE wants to flip the script here, they could give the title to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar at the Survivor Series. That's another one of those take my money matches, and a match that Daniel Bryan wanted. But, if we are sticking with AJ here, because I think Daniel Bryan right now, you book him at WrestleMania to win the title and not at Crown Jewel. It's not really a moment I want to see for Daniel Bryan. I think his first WWE title win back after 4 years is at WrestleMania. But if we go with AJ versus Brock Lesnar could drop that match to AJ. AJ could get his win back because it's not really that big of a deal if Brock Lesnar loses. Brock Lesnar holds the championship, goes to UFC with the Universal Championship. Nice little cross promotion there for WWE with the UFC. And it's a business move to give Brock Lesnar the Universal Championship. That way, Drew McIntyre could be inserted into the Universal Championship picture. And instead of beating Braun Strowman, which I don't really care for, I think Braun Strowman should drop to Drew McIntyre anyway, just to put him over. Braun is dead. They lost everything and lost all appeal with Braun Strowman. Drew McIntyre could beat Braun Strowman and beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. That's what I see happening. Or that's what I would, I guess you could see happening if WWE wanted to go that route. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm giving you all aspects here. WWE can certainly do that. And turn 2019, we give the title to Drew McIntyre, and he's the Universal Champion going into WrestleMania. So WWE has a lot of thinking to do here. But The fact that they're booking Survivor Series is the one thing that came out of this Monday Night Raw that I'm actually going to speak highly of. This is a fantastic idea. Survivor Series to some people might not have that appeal as it did to when we were younger. The traditional 4-on-4, 5-on-5 matches, that Thanksgiving feel with Survivor Series. A lot of its luster has gone away over the years. It's a tired concept. They were even rumored to get rid of the entire pay-per-view altogether off the calendar. But WWE with the brand split turned Survivor Series into a must-see show with these Raw versus Smackdown matches, especially the champion versus champion matches. And if WWE is smart, they would actually have some sort of tag team tournament, including all tag teams in the company. Maybe throw an NXT team in there as well, like Lorcan Birch or Street Profits, TM61, Heavy Machinery. Get a big tournament involved and have the winner of that win the Raw Tag Team Championships and battle the Bar at Survivor Series. There's plenty of time to do this across Raw and SmackDown. You got 3 Raws and 3 SmackDowns left. Let's do it. So WWE needs to start thinking about that as well with the Tag Team Championships. But I love that idea, man. It's easy on creative. It's easy on the fans. And it gets fans excited with basically no work involved. You're pitting fantasy matchups at Survivor Series. I think it's great. And Becky versus Ronda is the first match that was announced. They filmed something after Evolution on Sunday night. I love it. I think it's a great move by WWE. Other than that, this show was a complete piece of shit. Nothing happened on this show of any importance outside that announcement of Survivor Series is going to remain Raw versus SmackDown matches. Raw opened up tonight with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. And they had to stare down Braun Strowman in the end, who really did nothing here. Baron Corbin was in the ring. He was holding the vacant Universal Championship. Says last week was one of the most emotional nights of his career. Corbin says that last week, life moves on. Fans boo him. Corbin respects Reigns personally. Hopes he wins his battle with leukemia. But professionally, he hopes Reigns doesn't come back to Monday Night Raw. I laughed out loud at that line. I thought that was great. Corbin says we all know the title looks good on him. He had it draped over his shoulder. Corbin says Reigns made his job very difficult, which is why. And then Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman comes out, and Paul Heyman cuts a very, very generic promo, which I'm going to play for you guys right here. Paul Heyman confronts Baron Corbin and talks about Crown Jewel on Friday afternoon.
Gentlemen and Mr. General Manager, you too as well. We live indeed in historic times. 4 days from now, history will be made once again when my client, Brock Lesnar, takes that championship back home and places it over his massive shoulders. Now, in order to do that, Brock Lesnar has to beat Braun Strowman. Here's a heads up. This Friday at WWE Crown Jewel, Brock Lesnar will beat Braun Strowman. I'm telling you something in advance. How often do you get that opportunity? How often do you get to know for a fact, 100% guarantee, history is going to happen? This Friday, an unparalleled career of milestones and achievements comes to a head when Brock Lesnar F5s Braun Strowman to become, once again, your reigning, defending, undisputed, Universal Heavyweight Champion!
At Crown Jewel, I am going to become the new Universal Champion.
I don't really care, man. I really don't even care.
Because you're gonna get these hands.
Just a lazy fucking segment, dude. I mean, give me a fucking break. That's the reason why you're gonna become the Universal Champion? So Corbin puts his hands on Braun Strowman. shoves him aside,
Oh!
and he attacks Braun Strowman.
Strowman.
Then he gets power
His
slam.
hands on the acting general manager. Corbin was just trying to protect his match, crown jewel.
Well, Brock Lesnar standing there as he's laughing about how much money he's making for this 5-minute appearance. Bouncing around,
Now look at Lesnar
watching Braun
posing with
Strowman
the
power slam
championship.
Baron
And
Corbin.
Strowman slams Corbin.
That's your future. You ready for it?
That's your future, he tells Brock Lesnar as Brock is laughing. Crowd chanting one more time. Brock is laughing. Go ahead. Do it again.
That was like Lesnar's amused.
Amused Brock is still a terrifying
So,
Brock.
3 power slams
A third power slam. And look at
to
Lesnar.
Baron Corbin. So
Strowman
Brock sneaks up behind,
Lesnar going for the F5 on Braun Strowman.
and a miserable looking
To
F5.
the monster by Brock Lesnar.
Not even impressive. I'm not even fucking... I have no care at all. And that was the opening segment of Monday Night Raw. I don't understand who would be excited for this, man. I really don't. If you add Drew McIntyre in there, it gives you a sense of, wow, okay, maybe WWE's making strides to legitimately change the landscape of Monday Night Raw. And Drew McIntyre made mention that he will be watching the main event very closely. But I'm telling you right now, WWE was not afraid to change their plans last year when Jinder Mahal was the champion. They took Jinder Mahal out of the WWE Championship picture to give Brock Lesnar the title, or AJ Styles the title, rather, to face Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. They did that. I could see them doing the same thing again this year. Does a Braun Strowman versus AJ Styles match at Survivor Series, Universal Champion versus WWE Champion, does that match interest you? Certainly doesn't interest me. I'd much rather see Brock Lesnar win the WWE Universal Championship instead of Braun Strowman at this point, just to get the AJ Styles match, part 2. It's going to be very interesting, man. WWE has to have Survivor Series in the back of their heads. They got to put forth the best match. Braun Strowman, to me, he lost all his appeal. When he went heel, he lost every bit of appeal to me. He lost all his mystique. He's not important to me anymore. I don't really see him as a face of this company. I don't see him as the guy. He's nothing but a circus act. He's a one-trick pony. All the Braun Strowman fans out there, yeah, I once wanted to see Braun Strowman get what he deserved because that's how much fucking fanfare he had. Now, it's like WWE is trying to cover all their bases, all their tracks from all the mistakes that they made. And now, if you put the title on Braun Strowman, I feel like it's going to be one of those situations where it's too little, too late. The damage has already been done. You had an opportunity. You had an opportunity with this guy to make it fucking special, and you failed to capitalize on it. Now you're going to do it for the sake that Roman Reigns is out? It doesn't feel that important anymore. It doesn't feel like a big deal anymore. It doesn't feel like a big moment for Braun Strowman anymore. I am over it. I know I mentioned on Twitter tonight, I got 2 million fucking reasons why Brock Lesnar should be nowhere near the Universal Championship. But for the interim, if we have Brock Lesnar hold the championship for just a little bit to get us through Survivor Series, and then give it to Drew McIntyre, and have Drew beat Brock Lesnar with a Claymore kick, I think I would be more open to that than Braun Strowman right now winning the Universal Championship. Plus, if you have Brock Lesnar out with the Universal Championship, is anyone going to fucking care? I don't, and I won't. Because Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are set to carry this show, the majority of this show anyway, with the Universal Championship on the show or not, with their feud over the Intercontinental Championship. So at least WWE has a good backup here with Ambrose and Rollins over the Intercontinental Championship. I think I might be leaning with Brock Lesnar, just to get that match with AJ at Survivor Series. Let me know what you guys think, man. I don't know what's going on. Certainly going to be an intriguing match on Friday afternoon, but WWE has a lot of thinking to do. What do they do with the Universal Championship? Do they go and give it to a failed project now in Braun Strowman? Will he ever achieve the heights in which he once had? Or you go and give it to the safe bet in Vince McMahon's eyes, the megastar, Brock Lesnar? Only time will tell, man. We got 4 days to find out who the new Universal Champion is going to be. Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley rematch from last week. You know, WWE has a thing with rematches. They happen one week. Okay, we'll do it the next week. Effortless booking. There's no effort involved. Now, Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley, man. Let me talk about Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is so bad. He is absolutely fucking miserable to a point, in my eyes, that he's ruining Lio Rush. That's how bad Bobby Lashley is. The guy has no reaction. Nobody cares about him. And I don't see him as a main event talent whatsoever on this show. Here's another guy that WWE fucked over. This guy needed to come on in, and he needed to be an absolute fucking freak of nature. He only should have been back for one reason and one reason only, and that was Brock Lesnar. You can add Bobby Lashley's name to the list of guys that were fucked over by Roman Reigns. And that's the God's honest truth. Bobby Lashley should have come in for one reason and one reason only, and that was to battle Brock Lesnar. But Brock Lesnar was tied up with Roman Reigns. And Vince McMahon had all eyes on Roman Reigns taking down Brock Lesnar. Meanwhile, Bobby Lashley got fucked over, and now he is in the Lost Woods. He's playing The Legend of Zelda. He can't find the fucking Master Sword. He's in the Lost Woods, and he's listening to the fucking sound of the flute, but he can't find it. He's lost, and there's nowhere to be fucking... There's no guidance for Bobby Lashley in the Lost Woods. He's lost, and he can't find his way out. Guy's a fucking lost cause. The guy is absolutely fucking terrible, to a point he's actually bringing Lio Rush down. Lio Rush is the more talented of the two, to be quite honest with you. Yes, he's overly fucking annoying, but at this point, I'd much rather see Lio Rush being built up in a match against Finn Balor than Bobby Lashley. That's my honest opinion on Bobby Lashley. The guy's trash. And I'm hearing he's working hurt. I'm hearing he either has a separated shoulder, a bruised shoulder sprain, something. Something shoulder related. And if they have him go down, just another fucking reason why the Raw roster right now needs some type of fucking change. But Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor, my God, man, this was utterly fucking boring. Boring. So at the end of this thing, Rush gets involved. Balor was going to the top for the coup de grace. Rush jumps to the apron, shoves him off. Referee sees it. Balor manages to drop Lashley with a kick after ducking a shot. Balor goes back up top for another coup de grace. Rush again tries to stop it, and he shoves Balor off the top rope. Referee calls for the match. Finn Balor wins by DQ. After the match, fans are chanting, "You suck," at Rush. Referee checks on Balor on the outside. It looked like he landed pretty hard on the outside. Rush was laughing. Lashley comes in, grabs him, drives Balor into the barricade and into the apron a few times. So Lio Rush takes the microphone and starts chanting Bobby Lashley's name. It's the same shit that we see every fucking week. I am tired of the same old routine on this show. You see it once, you're going to see it 6 more fucking times. So after the match, after everything that was happening, Bobby Lashley went backstage, and Baron Corbin rewards Bobby Lashley for a job well done because he has an issue with Finn Balor. Rewards Bobby Lashley with a job well done and a spot in the World Cup tournament at Crown Jewel. He's replacing John Cena, and there were rumors going around that John Cena was not going to make the trip to Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel. The reason, which we will talk about on Off the Script Part 3, that's going to be uploaded tomorrow morning, we got John Cena not participating in Crown Jewel because he's taking a stance, good for him, taking a stance because he does not want to ruin his image in Hollywood by trying to get in there by doing something that a lot of people right now are frowning upon, and that is the deal with Saudi Arabia. So John Cena is doing John Cena, and WWE is allowing him to do whatever he wants because he's fucking John Cena. They're not going to fire John Cena. So they replaced John Cena with Bobby Lashley, and the way that they did it, I wish WWE would have just come out and said, John Cena's not going to be able to make Crown Jewel for personal reasons. I just wish something simple would have been said like that, but I understand why they can't. But I would have appreciated, instead of going some lame, stupid storyline route, they took John Cena out of the tournament because he never even qualified for the tournament. Everybody else qualified, and John Cena is the only guy that did not. Kurt Angle was also a guy that they just threw into the tournament as well, I believe. Oh, no, he won the Battle Royal. I'm sorry. The Conquistador won the Battle Royal. John Cena is the only one who did not qualify for the tournament. He was just in there because he's John fucking Cena. So they took him out. Bobby Lashley now, did the same thing. He really didn't qualify. That wasn't a qualifying match. So they're replacing John Cena, who never qualified, with Bobby Lashley, who never fucking qualified. So the reason they gave didn't make any sense anyway. But this is Monday Night Raw. In their world, it makes sense. To me, it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So Bobby Lashley now makes the World Cup that much worse. Simple as that. Women's match. What did we get? Did we get a great one-on-one match? Did we get a number one contender match? Or something with championship implications? No, of course not. We got another fucking tag team match. By the way, speaking of tag team wrestling, what is it with these goons in the crowd? These fucking these clowns in the crowd holding the "We Want Women's Tag Team Championship" signs in the crowd. Now, a lot of you guys, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. First time I'm actually seeing it. First time I seen it was yesterday at Evolution. This is the first time I'm seeing this, and you guys were telling me that they've been doing this and handing these signs out at shows for weeks now. Why would anyone at this juncture want women's tag team championships? I could see where they're going. I could feel it in the air. I could just envision what they're doing here, leading to tag team championships. There's been a lot of tag team wrestling. I see the back and forth with Tamina and Nia. I see the team of Bayley and Sasha, the Riot Squad, Trish and Lita are appearing on Monday Night Raw with no fucking build, with no hype, with no advertisement, right? WWE has these people sitting front row with "We Want Women's Tag Team Championship" signs, and I don't really understand why anybody would want women's tag team championships. Why would you want women's tag team championships? You do know that right now that is an absolute fucking mistake in every aspect. They can't even book their women's divisions right on a normal week. They have no division in itself, period. Meanwhile, you want tag team championships in a division in which WWE A doesn't care for, B has been more lazy with anything than anything else on their show, and they can't even book the women correctly. Yet you want these people in charge of tag team championships for the women. Are you out of your fucking mind? I think you people need to sit the fuck down, rip up the signs, and burn them. Not needed right now. At all. Tag team wrestling is dead on Monday Night Raw, period. Have you seen the way they handled the men's division? Do I need to say any more? Trish Stratus and Lita on Monday Night Raw in a 5-on-5 match with Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Natalya versus the Riot Squad, Mickie James, and Alicia Fox. So, typical WWE, right? They take two matches from the pay-per-view on Sunday night and make it one big match on Monday Night Raw. So, if last night on Evolution was history, what does tonight stand for? What is tonight? Is tonight history repeating itself? Or is it just the same old fucking lazy garbage because we don't know what to fucking do with the women? So let's throw them all in a big match and have this big 5-on-5 and Lita and Trish are there. Fuck out of here, dude. Complete miserable garbage. Yet you eat this shit up. You know how many people on my fucking timeline argue with me all weekend that Evolution was the best pay-per-view of the year? What? 9 out of 10? Near perfect. First of all, asshole. Okay? That goes for everybody that utter those same things. Asshole. Nothing that WWE does is perfect. There's no show perfect by any means. Unless you're talking about a fucking NXT takeover. The last near perfect show that I seen was TakeOver New Orleans. I don't know about you guys, but NXT TakeOver, pretty much every single fucking time they do one, is a near perfect effort. There has not been one single pay-per-view in WWE that you could call perfect. I love the 1992 King of the Ring, 1993 King of the Ring. I love the 1992 Royal Rumble. I love ECW One Night Stand 2006. Those are near perfect shows, and even those being my favorite shows of all time. SummerSlam 2002, my favorite SummerSlam of all time. Those shows were near perfect, and they still had aspects of the show that I didn't like. You're calling this a near perfect effort in 2018? Fuck out of here, dude. There's absolutely nothing on WWE's main roster that is near perfect. If you think so, you accept garbage. You accept mediocrity. NXT TakeOver is the closest thing to perfection that this company offers. And I'm not even fucking uttering another word on that aspect alone. Near perfect. The show was decent. Okay? The opening match was garbage. Alicia Fox is a 10-year fucking veteran and botches a timing issue to break up a pinfall. Yet she's a revolutionary in the division, right? Revolutionary my fucking cock. Alicia Fox. That match was god-awful. A standard issue house show match. Trish and Lita were there. I love Trish and Lita, but I'm not going to let it slide. Mickie James held that match on her back all by herself with Lita and Trish. Alicia Fox was a fucking eyesore. Io Shirai and Toni Storm. 10 minutes, match should have went 20. Easy. Easy. A battle royal won by Nia Jax? Why? Because they do it for Roman, and The Rock's mother is sitting at ringside. Another political move by WWE. Yet, you had Asuka and Ember Moon hold the entire fucking Nassau Coliseum crowd in the palm of their fucking hand while chants of NXT rang out throughout the entire arena. And do you think WWE mentioned that they have a past in NXT? Of course not. The crowd knows, but Michael Cole doesn't. That should have been the closing segment to that battle royal. Ember Moon and Asuka. Nia Jax won it because of her background. I don't know who the fuck would be excited about a Nia Jax Ronda Rousey rematch for the Women's Championship. Blow me. Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane, great fucking match. Not better than their first match, but it was a great fucking match. NXT stole the show as always with Evolution. Becky and Charlotte, great fucking match. Will probably go down as one of the most brutal women's matches that I think we've all seen. And then Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey. Garbage main event that meant nothing to anybody. Then you got the 6-woman tag that everybody's talking about, right? Oh, it's great. Well, the best 6-woman tag match I've ever seen. These people are legit fucking mental. Mental. This was a decent pay-per-view. A decent pay-per-view. It was enjoyable in some parts. It was miserable in other parts. But it was a decent pay-per-view. I never said it was bad. I never said it was a fucking piece of shit show like I usually say with these pay-per-views. It was a decent show. Was it historic? Of course it wasn't. You can't have 3 matches and a 3-hour and 15-minute pay-per-view be historic. That's 1 match per hour. You can't do it. 3 matches does not make a historic pay-per-view. Does it have history-making possibilities? Yes. Because if WWE wants to have this happen yearly, I'd say that's a good step. A nice direction for them to go. Maybe next year they'll do less pandering to the fucking women's equality bullshit. And all this other fucking bullshit that they spewed on Sunday night. Maybe WWE gives the women their own show and their own fucking pay-per-views and their own division away from the men. That would be a history-making thing for the WWE. Was Evolution historic? No. No. It is too early. It is far too early for people to say anything historic about Evolution. As far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen, NXT stole the show. Becky and Charlotte are the only women's match with any legit storyline behind it. Everything else was just there. Booked on the fly. Yet it's an historic pay-per-view, right? Because you get one fucking clown in the community. One of these fucking big channels who suck WWE fucking dick for a living. That says, oh, it was a great show, it was a fantastic show, it was a spectacular show. You get one of these fucking 300, 400, 500,000 subscriber channels to say one good thing, and everybody jumps on the fucking bandwagon. Oh, they said it was good. Oh, it must be good. So let me say it's good. It's like you guys can't think for your fucking selves. And I rant about this on Off the Script tomorrow. You can't think for your fucking selves. One person in the community says something positive about it. In actuality, it was only a decent show. You get one fucking idiot who says it's a great fucking show, and everybody hangs on to that like a fucking leech. Because you can't think for your fucking self. You follow the fucking sheep. You follow the positivity because you don't know any fucking better. Think for your fucking selves. This is why I love what I do here, man. I love what I do here. I did it the right way. I didn't follow anybody's footsteps. I didn't fucking suck the dick of anybody. I didn't take this fucking channel and mold it after anybody else. I'm not going to sit here and say something's positive for the sake of everybody else saying it's fucking positive. There's a reason why people come here. There's a reason why people want to hear my opinion. Because I go against the grain. I tell it like it is. I shoot the way it should be shot. Decent at best. No history. NXT stood out above everything else, and the only women's match that had any fucking meaning behind it on the main roster was Charlotte and Becky, and you see what they did. Now, every match was built like Charlotte and Becky. Maybe it would be a great pay-per-view, but it wasn't. And WWE took all 10 of these women because they didn't know any better, and they needed to fill fucking 20 minutes on this show. Let's jump the gun here and put 2 matches from Evolution on Monday Night Raw. If you watched Evolution and you watch this, it's the same fucking shit. No meaning, unimportant, WWE just filling time and getting Trish and Lita on Monday Night Raw to create some type of buzz. Do you want any more fucking pipe bombs? I got a whole fucking bag of them. Fuck out of here, man. This match was absolutely worthless in every sense of the word, man. It was cool at the end. Lita did a moonsault. Nicely done. I don't want to see her ever do poetry in motion ever again. Please, honey, tone it down. She looked miserable doing the poetry in motion there off Trish Stratus' back. It wasn't as bad at Evolution. Tonight, it was absolutely fucking cringe-like, where I had to turn my head away in shame. She did a moonsault off the top rope. Nicely done. We had the Twist of Fate done on Ruby and Liv by Lita and Bayley. Bayley goes to the top, drops the big elbow on Ruby. Lita goes to the top, does the Lita salt on Liv. Fox then grabs Lita, and Lita counters, and Natalya follows up with a heart attack. So Lita and Natalya did the heart attack, paying homage to her father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And Natalya applies the sharpshooter then to Fox in the middle of the ring, and she taps out. That was the best. That nice 45 seconds at the end was probably the best part of the entire match. Everything else before that, complete waste of fucking time. Simple as that. And no Alexa Bliss. No Alexa Bliss here. So there you go. Out with a concussion. We have Elias in the ring. He's with his guitar. Says he is the truth, and what he says will set us free. I wish Monday Night Raw would fucking set me free. He goes on and reminds us that WWE stands for Walk with Elias. Elias lets out a big woo for Ric Flair country. Says he came to Charlotte early today because WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair wanted to hang out with him. Elias claims Flair said Elias is his favorite and says Flair gave him props for what he did to Baron Corbin last week. I doubt any of this happened. Elias shows us a replay of the guitar shot to Corbin last week and says, this one is for Rick. Elias then goes on to say, as much as it hurts him to break one of his beautiful fenders, that one felt good. He planned on singing a song to Corbin tonight, but he probably can't make it out here because of what Braun Strowman did to him earlier in the middle of the ring with the 3 power slams. Elias says he can't let this song go and can't let Corbin off that easy, so he's headed to the back to bring the music to Corbin's face. Elias leaves the ring and goes to the back. He stands outside of Corbin's dressing room. Now, on the way to the dressing room, he sees Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke stops Elias in the back and says, can you play me a song? And Elias says no. And he blows off Dana Brooke. Good. She deserves it. Get back to catering, honey. They're serving chocolate cake. Elias keeps walking. There's a chocolate cake that walks by, and Elias says, please bring that to my dressing room. Freshly baked from Titus Bakery. You know, nice little cherry on top, nice little frosting around the rim. Good to go for Elias. Elias does his usual shtick about keeping your mouth shut, silencing your cell phone. He starts strumming outside of Corbin's dressing room. All of a sudden, he utters the words that Corbin is Stephanie's little bitch. He doesn't say the word bitch completely, but Jinder Mahal comes out of nowhere and attacks Elias. Corbin comes out of the locker room sees Elias laying on the floor because Jinder Mahal attacked him and says, you better get to the ring because your encore is up next. So we're getting a Jinder Mahal versus Elias match on Monday Night Raw. I don't know what type of punishment, we're getting tonight. Nobody asked for this. Why do we deserve this type of treatment on Monday Night Raw? Why is Jinder Mahal even still employed here? The guy is fucking miserable. His name holds just as much misery as the letters in Raw. He is completely fucking garbage. I would be lucky if I watched 3 seconds of this match. Elias wins with a drift away. That is all I'm uttering. I don't give a fuck about these matches. Completely garbage. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the Authors of Pain. And I'll give you a guess as to who the other team in this triple threat match is. If you guessed Connor and Victor of the Ascension, you win absolute fucking repetitiveness, man. Repetitiveness. How many fucking times do we need to see these teams in the middle of the ring? It meant nothing. Gable and Roode win a triple threat match. A triple threat match that included AOP. I don't know why AOP didn't wipe the floor with both of these teams, but Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. When is the heel turn coming? What does a win mean for these guys? Seriously. Are people all of a sudden going to side with Chad Gable and Bobby Roode? Like, when is the heel turn coming? Give me a heel Bobby Roode. Please start transforming this guy back into NXT Bobby Roode. I am desperate for NXT like Bobby Roode on this show. Seriously. Chad Gable and Bobby Roode win. After the match, Akam and Razor enter the ring. Meanwhile, Authors of Pain were not pinned, thank God. They enter the ring, and destruction is happening right before our eyes. Super Collider on Gable and Roode. Akam and Razor then stand tall over their broken, beaten down bodies. We got Seth Rollins in the ring with Dean Ambrose. Ambrose came from the crowd. He was not in the ring with Seth Rollins. Ambrose was pacing back and forth in the crowd in one of the balconies. He was giving off John Voight-like facial expressions in the movie Anaconda. If you guys remember the movie Anaconda with LL Cool J, or it was Ice-T. I think it was Ice-T, right? And Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson. John Voight was in the movie, and he, I guess, manipulated his way onto their vessel, right? And he was pretty much not with whatever they were doing, and they were filming a documentary on the people down there, and he knew the Anaconda was lurking, and he was watching the Anaconda pick off these people on the ship one by one, and he's there smiling, and he's there giving facial expressions because he's a sly bitch. I loved his role in that movie, man. He was fucking great. So he was giving off these John Voight-like facial expressions. And this is the type of heel that we need to see Dean Ambrose play. I have to let you guys in on something, on how I'm feeling about Ambrose right now. He needs new theme music. He needs new theme music, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they have to do. But I did hear something unofficial that a fan made. I don't know what song by Disturbed it was. But Dean Ambrose, I think they edited in Ambrose's intro to the song he has now, the opening, revving of the engine. They took that and added it to a Disturbed song, and it sounded fucking fantastic, man. If WWE could pay Disturbed for the rights to that song, I would love to hear Dean Ambrose come out to that song. I don't remember what it is. If you guys know what I'm talking about, please link it down in the comments for everybody else to listen to. I thought it was great. I thought it fit perfectly. I'm thinking here, if I'm a CEO and I'm hearing this, get it done. Call up Disturbed's manager, get that song. On Monday Night Raw, we got a new theme song for Dean Ambrose. So Ambrose is in the crowd. Rollins is in the ring, only wearing the Intercontinental Championship. Neither man has the Raw Tag Team Championships. So Rollins says he didn't call or text because he knew for sure that he would be able to find Ambrose at Raw tonight. Rollins says a friend and a brother. He's calling Ambrose to the ring to tell us why he did what he did. Rollins then says Ambrose wanted the spotlight, and now he can have it. So Ambrose is in the crowd. His music hits. He doesn't come down the aisle, but he's shown in the crowd, and the music goes off. Rollins says Ambrose is mocking the Shield, calls Ambrose to the ring, gives him the answers, and he says, give me the answers that, we all deserve, like a man. So Ambrose takes a microphone, steps into the crowd. Like I said, he's on the balcony, and the fans are chanting, "You sold out. You sold out." He says nothing. So this actually angers Seth Rollins. Rollins says Ambrose is a cold-hearted bastard. Rollins says Ambrose spat on the Shield during their emotional night. Somehow, someway, Ambrose made it all about him on the night Reigns went to battle leukemia. Rollins goes on and says he is fixed on Ambrose for as long as he lives, and he will make Ambrose's life a living hell. Rollins says maybe it wasn't a nickname. Maybe Ambrose really is a soulless lunatic. Ambrose then looks at the mic again. He takes the mic, he puts it to his mouth, and says nothing. Now, this is a good heel move. Everybody's anticipating Ambrose to say something, and he is acting as if, he's a true heel. He's acting as a true heel would. Nobody deserves a reason as to why he did what he did. The fans don't deserve it. Rollins certainly doesn't deserve it. Ambrose did what he had to do because everything just got to him. You make your assumptions. I'll speak when I'm ready to speak. So WWE left this entire show hanging on the silence of Dean Ambrose. I don't think that's enough to get people to watch this show next week, or enough to get people to watch this show. If we have to wait 3 hours to hear Dean Ambrose's reasoning for why he did what he did to Seth Rollins on the night Roman Reigns relinquished the Universal Championship. Rollins says Ambrose can stay up there because he's coming up to beat him within an inch of his life. Rollins leaves the ring, but Ambrose walks away. Rollins then watches from ringside. Angry as fuck is Rollins. And that was pretty much it. A waste of everybody's time, really. I understand why Ambrose is remaining silent. It's a good heel move, but on a night where nothing happened and we needed some type of fucking investment from this storyline, I don't get it. Something should have been said. Something should have been said on Dean Ambrose's part. We got nothing. So we get Nia Jax. Oh my God, man. Nia Jax versus Ember Moon. These two do not match up well together. I'm sorry. Nia Jax was just the wrong winner of the Battle Royal. This was a mistake, giving it to Nia Jax. She's seen her day. I am not interested in Nia Jax winning anything from here on out. Keep her on Total Divas and don't feature her on Monday Night Raw. Please, do us all a favor. Ember Moon is someone I want to see elevated, and WWE just continues to keep Ember Moon down. I'm sure that they are going to put Ember Moon, Nia Jax, and Tamina on Raw's team with Bayley and Sasha Banks probably on Survivor Series. So we'll see what happens there. But these two do not work well together whatsoever. At the end of this match, we get Tamina coming down to the ring. Jax and Moon stare down. Jax takes advantage and drops Moon. Drops a big leg drop on Ember Moon and pins Ember Moon for the win. Nia Jax wins. Who cares? After the match, Jax and Snuka stare at each other. Snuka steps up on the apron but jumps back down. Stare down. I don't think this is leading. I honestly don't think this is leading to a match. I don't know who the fuck would be interested in a Nia Jax Tamina Snuka match. I honestly think that the tag team titles for the women are coming, and that is a tag team that's going to be joining forces. Those are two women that are going to be joining forces to form a tag team. That's the only thing that makes sense here. Nobody is interested in seeing Nia Jax and Tamina one-on-one. Tag team is the only way to go. The Revival got a jobber's entrance, just showed up in the ring. They went to battle against the Lucha House Party from 205 Live. So WWE is relying on 205 Live talent now to fill the void in the tag team division. I don't mind this whatsoever. It's just the fact that they came out to a ringing sound of dead silence. Nobody cared. Nobody cares for the Revival. The Revival need to be off this fucking show. The Revival need competition. The Revival they need to start being treated like a huge deal in the tag team division. If you look back at NXT, promotions to Raw and SmackDown, I think the Revival will be in the top 3 biggest failures of all time coming up from NXT. And that's a goddamn fucking shame, because the matches that they had down in NXT were some of the best that I think I could ever remember seeing. I don't get it. The matches with DIY blew me away. And this is what they're reduced to. Losing to the Lucha House Party on Monday Night Raw. Dawson floors Kalisto with a big forearm. Dawson has words with Metalik, who taunts him from the floor. Dawson turns around to a Salida del Sol from Kalisto. Lince Dorado springboards in. Takes out Dash. Kalisto covers Dawson for the pin and the win. Who cares? If you fell asleep, you missed nothing. Dolph Ziggler versus Apollo Crews. This was actually the last match of the night. Why is Apollo Crews in the main event, quote unquote, of Monday Night Raw? I don't fucking know. This was nothing but Dolph Ziggler saying that he's the best in the world and he's going to win the World Cup. He's actually fighting Kurt Angle in the opening round of the World Cup. It's Dolph Ziggler versus Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley, The Miz versus Jeff Hardy, and Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio. So WWE split them up into 2 brackets, Raw and SmackDown. So it's going to be a Raw versus SmackDown guy in the main event, or in the finals, I should say, of the World Cup at Crown Jewel. So if I'm booking this thing, I'm booking Randy Orton to win the entire thing. Really. But I think WWE actually might go with Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. I think that's what they're doing. I don't see Rey Mysterio losing so early in his WWE return. But for the sake of Randy Orton, who has this gimmick right now and this I would say, role on SmackDown Live where it would be foolish for him to lose, I could see him getting himself disqualified by doing something heinous to Rey Mysterio. But I could see Rey Mysterio winning by Randy Orton getting himself disqualified. And I could see Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins in the finals. I think that would be a nice World Cup moment right there for a meaningless tournament. But we'll see what happens, man. I'm going with Seth Rollins in the finals for Raw. And I'm either going with Rey Mysterio or Randy Orton in the finals for SmackDown. That's what I'm going with. So we'll see what happens. Dolph Ziggler wins here. I mean, who gives it? They're trying to push Apollo Crews, but do you really care? Do you honestly really fucking care about Apollo Crews? If WWE was behind Apollo Crews, oh, but JD, he's getting TV time, man. But he doesn't want a fucking match. You're giving the guy TV time, but you're not having him win matches. So what's the fucking point? You're giving him TV time, but he goes out there and loses, and nobody believes in Apollo Crews. They look at him like a fucking loser. This is the state of Monday Night Raw, that we got Apollo fucking Crews in the main event of Monday Night Raw against Dolph Ziggler. Crews goes to the top. Ziggler runs up, grabs him. Crews shoves Ziggler back to the mat. Leaps out with a frog splash. Ziggler gets the knees up. Ziggler then lands a super kick for the pin. Simple. In the end of Monday Night Raw, and thank God this review is over, Taker and Kane come out with another boring fucking promo. I'm completely over all of this fucking tag team bullshit at Crown Jewel. Lights go out. Taker comes out. Kane comes out. Taker says it's not easy to heed his call, to say goodbye, to reach the end. But when the Reaper calls, it's your time to go, no matter how hard you fight. Kane then speaks and says they will take the battered souls of DX to the fiery gates of hell for the first and last time at Crown Jewel on Friday. Taker says it won't be a quick death. It will be slow, agonizing pain. It won't just be an end of an era. It will be the end of DX's error. This entire fucking show is an error. Taker says, but this Friday, that is all going to happen. He calls DX to the ring. They take, he says, DX, come to the ring. They have some more words to utter to them so that they can take their souls to eternity and rest in. And before the Undertaker says peace, DX's music hits. Triple H comes out by himself, starts throwing glow sticks into the fucking crowd. He acts like Michaels is missing. So Triple H comes out all by himself. Triple H plays like he's going to the back to get Shawn Michaels. Kane is tired of waiting. He goes up the ramp to follow Triple H, leaving the Undertaker in the ring. Shawn Michaels comes from the crowd, comes from behind Undertaker, and delivers sweet chin music and rolls out of the ring. So Kane then comes back to stand by Taker. Taker sits up, and that was it. DX runs up the ramp. They look worried after Taker sat up from the super kick, and Taker and Kane stand tall in the ring where Taker is slashing his throat, and that's the last thing you see before Monday Night Raw goes off. I don't give a shit. I don't really give a shit. It is so lame to see these guys close out Monday night. I cannot wait for Crown Jewel to be over with. I cannot. Evolution is done. Thank fucking Christ with the lazy build that was that show. Same thing's happening with Crown Jewel. I cannot wait for these shows to be over and we get back to regularly scheduled programming with WWE pay-per-views. I can't fucking wait. None of this shit is interesting to me. None. It's the same old tired garbage. And you know what? The funny thing is, these guys are probably going to go 30 minutes of Crown Jewel. Have your coffee ready, folks. It's going to be a long afternoon. Fucking shit. They're making me regret ever saying Shawn Michaels, man, I'm happy to fucking see you come out of retirement. They're making me regret every fucking positive thing I said about this shit. Seriously. Do you know how ridiculous it looks to watch Shawn Michaels wrestle bald? It's like my childhood is fucking gone. Not really what I signed up for. Maybe he should have stayed retired. Anyway, I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. This show was complete garbage. Monday Night Raw is one of the worst shows, if not the worst show on television. Bar none. They need some fucking life into this show. I don't know where you gotta find it, but they need it desperately. Either a fucking shake-up, an NXT call-up or 3, or end the brand split and get everybody back together. Turn 2019. I'm done. This show is complete misery. This is such a struggle to get through every single Monday, man. I don't know how the fuck I do it. I really don't. I'm thankful for you guys who don't watch, who want to live vicariously through me. But this show is fucking garbage. And you know, if it's good, I'll let you know. Nothing was good outside of the announcement that Survivor Series is going to be Raw versus Smackdown. That was it. That was it. Another garbage edition of Monday Night Raw, as always, from WWE. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Off the Script Part 3 to finish out the weekend. All Crown Jewel news leading into Friday, man. That'll be uploaded tomorrow at noon. So make sure you guys go check that out tomorrow. And if you missed anything else on the podcast this weekend, Off the Script and WWE Evolution Review, everything you guys need is linked in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. Go get your t-shirts, man. The new t-shirt is on sale. 100,000 subscribers is around the corner. And you can get your new t-shirt right now, man. The 100,000K commemorative t-shirt right there on barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code BSHOP20 for 20% off. If you guys want a closer look at it, there you go, man. That is what you're getting on Barbershop Window. Go get your t-shirts today and celebrate my huge milestone for 100,000 subscribers. And follow me on social media, man. At JD from NY206 on Twitter. Hit that subscribe button. Give that bell the fucking middle finger, bruh. And follow me on Patreon. Support through Patreon, man. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. I'm getting out of here, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for Off the Script. And then a bunch of other content coming this week, man. WWE 2K19, Spider-Man, Black Ops 4. More stuff to come with Crown Jewel. Bunch of stuff coming up this weekend, as always, man. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow for Off the Script. And then again, Tuesday night for Smackdown Live. I'll talk to you later.